Cool.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go over side control side control attacks this week. We run into a problem in side control. My method of control in side control are my arms. At the same time, my method of attack are my arms. So by that dichotomy, I have to give up a little bit of control in order to attack my opponent from side control. So we run into a problem, right? So if I have Chris here, anytime I let go to start going to side control, obviously I'm losing a little bit of control. Also, I don't have any control of his lower body. Let's use our legs to staple our opponent from side control so we can free up our arms to attack. From here, the beauty of this, doesn't matter if his elbow's on the outside or on the inside. I'm gonna make the letter C with my north side arm. I'm gonna place it right in his elbow. Here, okay, on the close side. From here, my goal is to straighten my arm out, but obviously I'm not just gonna push my arm. As I straighten my arm out, I keep my hips flat to the ground, and I go until my forehead touches the floor. Now I've achieved the objective of straightening out my arm. From here, my north side leg is gonna come below his elbow, and then trap his elbow underneath my north side leg. I make sure that his arm, his opposite arm, is on the right side of my head, towards his leg. From here, I have maybe a no-gi paper cutter choke. In the gi, it's definitely much more viable. I might have a wrist lock from here, but let's get to our high percentage stuff. Okay? From here, I'm gonna cross my left arm over, get double enclosure on this arm, and now I'm gonna switch my hooks. My south side leg comes up and over, and now I get rid of that top hook. So now my bottom leg is the one trapping his arm. Again, I'm pushing down slightly on it, not enough to make my butt lift up, but I want to be heavy on that leg just so we can't move that arm out. From here, north side arm on the ground, north side leg travels over. I use both posts to roll him on his back, or roll him on his side, and then I seal the position with my back here. You can do it with your foot, you can do it with your knee, doesn't matter, I prefer the foot. From here, if he hasn't moved his arm, that's a good opportunity for you to change the grip, get the Kimura here. When I finish the Kimura from here, I'm going to physically lift him off the ground, okay? I put all that stress on his shoulders. And then from here, I start to rotate for the finish, okay? From here, you also have your arm bar, twist, drop back here, and beautifully, if he's connecting his hands together, or connect your hands together, Chris, from here, I can't get the Kimura or the arm bar. I'm going to stay heavy on his arm, switch over, my right leg gets parallel to his spine, and I spin him over to take his back here. Okay? Let's look at that again. From here, I'm going to show you one more time this side, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the legs on the opposite side. So I start in side control. Here, make the letter C with my north side arm, trap his elbow to the floor. I need to straighten out my arm, so what I'm going to do is, without lifting my butt, I'm going to lean forward until my forehead hits the ground, and now my north side arm is straight. From here, take the top leg, switch it underneath his elbow. If you want to go for a wrist lock or a paper cutter 10 from here, you can. From here, I'm going to take my south side leg, switch it over, and switch the pin on his arm. North side arm is on the floor, north side leg crosses over. Use both posts to roll your opponent onto his side and seal the position here. From here, I immediately go for my Kimura grip. Again, I can go for the Kimura here, I can go for the arm bar, or if he connects his hands together, yep, I can't go for either, right? So I stay heavy on his arms, I dismount, my north side leg swings in line with the spine as I throw my south side leg over for the hook and take it back from here. Okay. Chris, I'm going to turn you around so people can see what I'm doing with my feet. Yeah, just point your head that way. From here, same thing. Catch, make the letter C, get it to the floor, extend, and now my top side leg comes over, and I make the switch here, and now I get into my position and finish however I want. Cool. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3.
Alright guys, welcome back to the side control high percentage attack series. I did not get a lot of video this week. I just kept forgetting to record because I was busy teaching class. So I think I only have like 4 or 5 examples, but hopefully we got some good knowledge out of those examples. In this example, we got Ernest on top and it looks like Dave on the bottom here. Ernest doing a good job keeping the side control, gets his arm straight with the C clamp. He's got to drive his body forward a little bit more without turning his hips, or without lifting his hips, I mean. Gets, yep, north side knee comes over. Going to make that switch with the south side leg. So far, so good. Leg comes over. He's got to roll him on his side so he can start attacking that arm. Very good. There's a couple of attacks that we didn't go over from this position either. That oh, very good. Spinning armbar, and I would like to see his Dave's. It's now I'm pointing to this guy. There's a couple of attacks that we didn't go over from that stacked position. Leg scissors is one. If you can't quite get the Kimura, if they're really connecting their hands together, can't quite get the armbar. But I just didn't have enough time this week. Makes the switch. Okay, so if that happens, wait, let's rewind real quick. If in the middle of the switch or for whatever reason, your opponent's arm, let me see if I can, there we go. Your opponent's arm goes in between your legs, it's still not a big deal. You still have all the required pieces, for lack of a better word, to, stack your opponent. Obviously, Ernest can push the head down and step this leg over, get back to that side stack position. So don't panic too much that you didn't trap your opponent's arm, on the south side leg. If it's in between your leg, it's good enough. I think Ernest just opts to work the drill and goes back to the beginning. Respect. Goes forward. So Dave's doing something interesting here. He's actually trapping his Ernest's feet here. That's not a big deal. His bicep is in no way going to be stronger than both of your quads. You would just simply extend your arm here and make the switch over for the south side leg. Got Denise on top and Britt on the bottom here. Gets the C clamp, transfers it over, steps over, smooth. Gets the Kimura grip and finishes the Kimura. And goes to the back take here. That was pretty tight. Not too many things to fix there. I forget what I said to Britt. Here, stuff. Okay. Anytime you go to step that north side leg over, try to keep your hips level to the ground. This is the ground here. Look how much your hip raised up. I don't like lifting that up because if strong opponents will start to buck their hips, or if they get their hand loose. I forget exactly what happened last week, but I was trying this off my bad side, and my opponent literally posted. He was a heavyweight, posted and managed to roll me all the way over. And I'm convinced it's because at some point I lifted my hips up. So try and keep your hips level. Yeah, like that. Your hips should be level. Gonna make the switch with the feet. Steps over. Gets the Kimura. So go for a back or go for the armbar. Oh no, opposite stick to the Kimura. Okay. Again, she shouldn't be going down to the floor here. She should be lifting Britt completely off the floor, putting all that stress on you can't see it, but I'm circling the rotator cuff right now because we run into this problem. Denise can either drop her knee to the floor and she'll have more room to clear this arm, but that's a risky proposition. I shouldn't say risky. It's just an added step. So why not eliminate the middleman? Lift your opponent, not just lift the arm, but literally lift your opponent off the floor with that Kimura grip, put a lot of stress on that rotator cuff, and then rotate through for the finish. Because right now she's running into her own leg. And opts to take the back. Good. Got Ernest on top and Kirk on the bottom here. Kirk isolates that arm, gets that leg over without lifting his hips. Very good. Got to get that knee to the floor. Good. Straightening out that arm now. So Kirk manages to get his arm in the middle. Yep, exactly. Like we said before, Ernest is going to continue on even though Kirk's arm isn't pinned. Still trapped in between your legs. Gets him to his side. Switches the grip. Spins for the armbar. He spun like he didn't spin enough. He landed on that's hilarious. He landed on Kirk's head here, and you see him run into problems, and then he falls to his left side here, right? So spin all the way until your butt hits the floor. Obviously, Ernest is not in an ideal position. Now he can still finish it. He might even be able to go for a reverse triangle here. Oh, don't know what happened there. Reverse triangle here, but not ideal for the armbar. Not bad. Oh, I don't know where Ernest went. Now he's back. Right now he's doing it on the other side. It's that C clamp. Gets it over. So if my opponent's hugging my leg like this, what I tend to do is use my north side arm to literally grab his wrist and push it down here to make space for my other leg coming over. Kirk's doing an interesting thing, trying to get that half guard here. Oh, he might get it. Yeah, he got Ernest in the half guard. Now Ernest has to abandon everything and start getting back to the half guard. So what do we learn today? Don't get lazy with your south side leg either, or your opponent is going to be able to pull you into a defensive position. Good job, Kirk, and good job, Ernest. Got Dave on top and Bob on the bottom here. So Bob is doing something interesting. He's locking his arms together. If your opponent is locking their arms together because they don't know what they're doing, or they know what you're doing, and their priority is to prevent the submission, nothing wrong with that. Honestly, you're probably not going to get this technique, but there's nothing stopping you from sliding your knee over and advancing your position. So Dave's still trying to pry that arm open. I'm not going to lie, unless you're way stronger than your opponent, probably not going to happen. But what you can do is, yep, exactly. I'd like to see him slide the knee over next time, but the idea was the same. So again, Bob was holding on for dear life because he doesn't want to be submitted. Maybe there's a couple seconds left on the clock. No problem. If I were Dave, honestly, I wouldn't even bother with this arm because I don't want Bob to know what I'm doing. I would just simply slide that knee over. The problem with throwing your leg over is your opponent might catch you in the half guard. He eliminated that by using his hand here, but Bob could also use his own hand, because now it's free, to block Dave's knee.